So, joining the Australian crypto market with Gemini, why now? And what's Gemini bringing?
Yeah, we're really excited to be entering this market. Just for context, customers in Australia would have been able to access Gemini. They could just go to the app and sign up and be traded on Gemini, but they wouldn't have a localized experience that is optimized for Australians. And so what we're changing now is we're localizing that experience. We're going to build a local team, local funding rails, local onboarding, and just build the product suite that is going to be localized for Australia. And we think that the reason why we're doing this is because it's such a compelling opportunity. We see higher crypto adoption in Australia than even the US. And we think that being part of this crypto community and what's being built here, we want to be good citizens of that ecosystem, and that's why this is important. And when it comes to kind of what we're bringing to the table, I think one of the big changes that some of the Australians might see is that a lot of the local exchanges that are existing today, they offer an amazing service, but many of them operate as a broker, right? So effectively, you go on, you go onto their website or an app, and you can effectively, get quoted a price, and you can acquire the asset that you're looking for. Whereas with Gemini, from day one, we'll be offering customers the ability to actually tap into our global liquidity order books, right? So you might be trading with someone in New York, London, Singapore, and we combine all of the liquidity on these assets into one order book. Okay. And so while you might on-ramp, or you might get your money on the Gemini exchange in AUD, you'll effectively be able to trade on our globally liquid order books. So that's something which is, I think, something unique and different from what a lot of the other exchanges that are existing today in Australia offer.
Yep. I noticed Gemini has gone into some tokenized stocks as well. Can you tell us about that and what might customers see there?
Yeah. So tokenized stocks is a recent product that we launched in Europe, and we're working to bring that to other markets as well. Effectively, what that allows customers to do is buy US equities in a tokenized format through the Gemini exchange. Yep. So there's, I believe there's, about 100 assets that you can buy, and so shares in like publicly listed, publicly traded companies in the US that you can buy through the Gemini exchange. And we intend to bring that product to other markets as well. And we think it's really something unique and something interesting. Which if you think about a lot of other jurisdictions. Perhaps in Australia you can go to a brokerage and buy US stocks, but in a lot of countries that's not accessible to a lot of people. So this format, this form factor allows customers to access that.
Cool. And what about staking? I know you guys have staking and things like that. Yes. What can customers expect there?
Yeah, so we do have a staking which is offered in a few countries. So we will aim to bring that to Australia as well. Yep. You can effectively, if you're holding assets, you can earn a yield on it. You can stake it, and I think a lot of customers do stake assets. Sometimes they're holding in their exchange account and they can stake it, or if you're holding in a Gemini custody, you could stake it as well. So yeah, we do offer that for a range of assets.
I'm really excited about the Bitcoin cashback card.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. Like, what could potentially happen there?
Yeah. So, it's an amazing product, but basically it's a US only product for now, but it's a really incredible value proposition. So, it's like a regular credit card. You have a credit line, and you go through the credit checks, and you get assigned a credit limit. You can go use it at any merchant, right? And depending on the merchant, you're able to get cash back, and you can choose the crypto asset of your choice. Most people choose Bitcoin, of course, but you can choose any asset, and you get it back in your account instantly. So let's say you spend $100 in a restaurant, you'll get $3 in Bitcoin back.
Wow.
And you get, depending on the category, you got different sort of cash back. So on things like Uber or public transit, you get 4% back. On things like restaurants and so on, you get like 3% back, 2% back on e-commerce, groceries and things like that, and 1% on everything else.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Now the Australian market has changed a lot over the last, definitely in crypto the last 10 years, if not 5 years,
right.
It's changed. And I think crypto awareness has gotten, I think it was a bit on the nose for a bit there, and now really it's gotten quite positive, but it's still changing. What are you sort of seeing in the next 2 to 3 years in Australia for crypto? Like, what are you excited about?
Look, I think, like I said earlier, there's incredible headroom for growth here. there's, even though we see crypto adoption at somewhere in the range of 25-30%, we still think that there's huge headroom for growth. And I think what's going to happen is like more and more products are going to be offered to Australian consumers, and we have a consumer set here which is very aware. They're familiar with crypto. Over the years, they've used more and more products, and I think there'll be more innovation coming. So people will be getting used to tokenized stocks, staking products, right, and so on. So I think there's a lot of runway for crypto in Australia, and I think as we're seeing, regulation is getting is coming, and I think more like a more regulated asset class is good for all of us. And I think as more and more people get comfortable once the product is regulated, you'll see more participants in the economy, and I think that's good for players like us.
So Australia is a bit of a nation of punters. We're known for punting and taking on new things.
Right.
And we're also known for digging up stuff out of the ground, like mining, like gold.
Yeah. Yes.
Do you think these things how do you think they contribute to Australians adopting crypto? Do you think that's part of the culture?
So I do think that people who are familiar with gold, I have a similar story. People who are familiar with gold, who understand the value of scarcity, have an innate understanding of the value of Bitcoin, a reserve asset, and the what it serves as a product. So I do think that has something to do with it, and the scarcity that natural resources like gold, etc., have. And I think that's an important aspect which you highlight. Now, does everyone who understands gold go and buy Bitcoin? Probably not. But certainly some people who understand how scarcity works and how digital scarcity works are able to embrace Bitcoin and assets like that much sooner. And I think like that probably plays into why so many we see high adoption in Australia. And I like I said, my story is very similar. I used to be a gold bug, and I ended up selling part of all of it over the years, and buying Bitcoin with it instead. So I think it does. Yeah, it's a good trade. It turned out to be a good trade. Yeah. I think with the exception of this year, I think gold has probably done better than Bitcoin. But I think in the last few years, I think Bitcoin has definitely outperformed gold.
That's fair. Who initially, when Gemini launches, who will you target? Like who do you think should onboard to Gemini?
Our product offering at the end of the day is aimed at a pretty wide customer set. We're not going after just institutions or just individuals. The reality is that Gemini, historically, we've had a really strong focus on retail, because we do think that we offer, our UX is very clean. We offer local payment rails, and so we're going to localize the product and make it really simple for someone to onboard and buy the $1,000 of Bitcoin and so on. But at the same time, we're a globally trusted, regulated brand, and we have a long history of compliance, a long history of serving institutional customers. And so, in fact, we do have institutional customers in Australia already, and so we're going to build on that as well. So I would say that we're going to be introducing more and more products as we grow here. But our focus isn't just on the retail or just institutions. And institutions can have a continuum as well, right? There's asset managers, hedge funds, family offices, etc. We have a range of institutions on our platform, and we'll continue to grow that.
Will you be able to withdraw USD and deposit USD as an Australian customer?
At the moment, when we're launching for Australian customers, it's only going to be AUD, but we intend to add other currencies.
Oh, cool. Yeah. That's very cool.
Yeah.
If there was like one thing you were going to tell Australian crypto investors, what would that be?
Well, I think the one thing that we're focused on now is really building locally for Australia, in Australia. We've hired a new head of Australia. We're going to build a team here, and we're intent on localizing the product as much as possible. And that's going to be our focus, is just build a reliant, compliant product which customers in Australia are used to and they understand, and the product suite is optimized for them. That's going to be our focus.
That's cool. Well,
yeah.
That's awesome. I like that. Australian Gemini.
Yeah.
Aussie Gemini.
Built in Oz for Oz.
Oh, I like that. I like that.